brought a Dos Equis. I was like, I brought
Yeah,
a Dos Equis.
got my little Tucher Heffenweizen.
I haven't tried this one. This one, because my dad brought it for me. He was like, this one has lime and salt. I was like, bring it. I like lime. It's okay. I'm into all that. So, haven't tried this one. Okay. So, it's nice to have you on. This is the first time you and I are actually talking face to face, too.
Yeah, usually I've seen you on with Samurai. You guys will talk movies or music, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's about time I got on with you.
Yeah. Well, he was the one who I've been wanting to do this for a while too. I just didn't know how we were going to do this and what we were going to talk about. But it's actually cool that you said, like, let's talk about the yearly favorites and all that, just because usually I do that. But I will warn everybody is like you'll probably have a longer list than I do. I was in a metal slump for a while, and it was like, so that's why I think I was like listening to like a lot of old school stuff, just
Mhm.
because that kind of helps, it's like it's best
Oh,
to listen to the classics than no metal, you know what I mean?
yeah, and it's funny because like you said, you want to talk a little bit about some of the older stuff you're listening to. I'm cool with that because there are times that I do that as well. In fact, I think I was listening to some Wasp deal, a little while ago, but because I do what I do, it is much tougher. I get kind of envious of people where they're like, yeah, I was jamming, Master of Puppets today. And I'm like, I love that record, but it's like I'm so concentrated on all this other stuff that sometimes
Mhm.
I don't get a chance to go back as much as I would like. And so that's why my phone that I have is my iPod, and I have like 10,000 songs on it. So
Mm. Hey, what's up, Noah? Haven't seen you in a long time. And I just thought about you too, so I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So, all right. So, real quick, if you guys don't know how I run this, when I do yearly favorites, yes, there will be some stuff from the year, but I also add in whatever I've been listening to in general, right? Um, I sometimes add in, non-metal stuff, and maybe if I really despise something, I'll add it in. I can't wait to look through my notes and see what I wrote. So I'm gonna let the guest start first. Did you want to start off with your first? What have you been listening to?
uh what well do we are we going to do favorites this year, or just kind of go back to what we
However
were?
you want it. There's really no order. I mean, I kind of noticed like the stuff I wrote, it starts off with this year, but then it just goes to wherever. Just
That's all good.
however you want.
Well, let's start with the first three of this year to end up with my best of us, and I will put this list in your comment section so people know, and if they want to go check these albums out, they can.
Mhm.
I'll do that after the show. But the first three that come on my list here is Needless. It's a thrash death band from Hungary called the Cosmic Cauldron. Very cool stuff. Obviously, if you're into thrash death metal type stuff, check it out. Then I have a thrash band, Accusator, with Tribal Fire from Finland. And then the surprise for me, really, this one caught me off guard a little bit. And this is more in the hard rock, heavy metal section, is Skid Row. The
Mm.
gang's all here, new record. They're from the USA, obviously, if you're familiar with Sebastian Bach and all them. However, Bach is not the vocalist here. It's Eric Gronwall. And I tell you, I went into this record not expecting the best, and it turned out to be like one of the best records I've ever heard.
Oh,
Even in Skid Row, like even going back to their old stuff, like I really, really like this record. So
cool. I need to get. I mean, I've only listened to like their first album, obviously, with Skid Row. That
right,
was about it. Um, it's funny because I always like Sebastian, though. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that like metal scene because they all look like douchey, rapey bastards, and I just don't like it. But he always had something like, I don't know, like he wasn't that bad, as the other ones were.
well, he's a character. I mean, there was a show
Yeah.
he did probably mid to late 2000s, and it was called Supergroup, and he got together with Scott Ian from
I
Anthrax.
remember.
And that was just the funniest stuff, man. He was like such a prima donna, but he's a
They
great
were
vocalist.
weren't they called like Fist or something like that?
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the reality show. That's something I need to rewatch that, and then I'll talk about because I know I did Rock of Love, and I forgot what else. Yeah, I need to rewatch that. That's you just gave me an idea.
She's
Where's that
like, write
Finland
down
I need?
notes.
No, okay, well I'll go back to the video. So okay, so with me, Where Goes Devil's Lust EP. So of course they're going to be called Devil's Lust. Of course, if you guys are not familiar with Where Goat, what's up, Mr. Death Metal? Um, they're an extreme metal band. They have some black metal influence. You know, I could see how people are going to think they're black metal, but they're actually extreme. For the minute, I don't know why I thought they were war metal. I was like, why am I thinking they're war metal? They're not war metal. But I kept thinking that for the longest time. So it's what you expect from them. It's real. I love their sound. Okay. They're okay. So BDSM kind of satanic style. You know, that's
Mhm.
that, you know, if you've seen their art covers before, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Actually, the latest art cover I saw, I thought it was really downplayed. Just saying. I felt like they were trying to aim for like the 13-year-old crowd, just saying. So because if you see the oh, let me see, did I put down the Priscillas and Rites of Infernal Fornication? Yeah, that's a huge mouthful.
Yeah, I think I actually
That
like
was
that
like,
cover.
wow, like, and I'm convinced with that one, there was like satanic sexual rituals with that one. Not gonna say why. Where this one, it was really good. It was like an old school Sabbath kind of doom sound almost in it too. What I've noticed, and the song "Goat Perversion," it was like I felt that was the only weak song in there. I just felt like it was trying too hard. That's it.
Mhm.
But great album if you're into that. But yeah, if you're into like extreme metal, I know a lot of people are not that into extreme metal or anything like that. At least not the people I follow. But yeah, check them out. You guys already heard me talking about them. It's same perverty stuff, you know, just done in a very, you know, satanic ritual way.
Yeah. Well, for me, the next three on my great list here is death metal band Father Befouled, Crowned and Beneficum from the USA. They have a very cool, almost classic Morbid Angel vibe about them.
Hmm.
Then I have Corpsess, Succumb to Rot, a death metal band out of Finland. And then my next one up is Nomos, which I'm very good friends with this band out of DC. Their debut record, Consume, Deny, Repent, which is a mixture of death metal and grindcore. Actually, recently we went, my wife and I went, and they did a little concert at this like house thing to shoot a video. So whenever that gets released in the next couple of months, we're going to probably be in that. So
Cool. Hmm.
yeah.
All right. So the next one on my list, this should be no surprise to anyone who follows me. Sabaton, the war to end all wars. Um, it's Sabaton, which is great. The sound was great. You know, they have a random ass Christmas song in there. Great. That, you know, that changed up. You know, it's Sabaton. It's kind of like saying it's Slayer. It's kind of like saying it's Motorhead, you know,
All
and yet
right.
they have a hardcore following that will like they will die for them, you know. So oh, excuse me, I burped. That's how I feel about Sabaton. I will I'm part of that group, you know. So
There's
I'm
nothing wrong with that. I used to, as much as we've seen bands like Megadeth or Slayer kind of alter their sound throughout the years,
yeah.
there are certain bands that stay steady. And people might say that's boring, but I kind of enjoy that. Like Overkill, if you go through their catalog, they're not messing with things. They just come at you. We're Overkill. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, the
So
same thing with
Sabaton is
Acid.
pretty much in the same vein. They just do it. They don't get fancy. They just come out and do it.
I mean, yeah, and then they start off real strong with Stormtroopers, but then by the time they get towards the end, let me see, what song was it? Oh, I didn't even put down the song. Basically, it was like the last four songs. It was a little slower, and everybody knows how I am about like slow metal shit. So, you know, I'm not the biggest fan, especially if you go acoustic. It's like it's not even metal anymore, you know. What was the one band that did that in the 80s? I think it was the band Extreme or something. I forgot who it was.
Oh, well, power ballads were the thing back then. I mean, just
Yeah.
every hard glam rock band did them.
Yeah. But you know, they're not reinventing anything, you know, besides the fact they just bring out more history. But the sound's great. I love it. Like I said, it was just towards the end. It got a little boring, I will admit, but it was still a great gym listening album to listen to. Mhm.
Let's see. I have Schizophrenia, Recollections of the Insane Death Thrash from Belgium. Very good record. In fact, I did a little top five of my best of list, and they made it to my top five. So very good stuff there. Werewolves from the Cave to the Grave, technical black death metal from Australia. And then Salq, Pariah, avant-garde black metal from Portugal. And actually, if you go on our YouTube channel, a few months ago, I did an interview with the guy behind it, Nuno Lorenzo. So just for those interested in that. Then I have Cobra Side, another thrash death metal band from an album called Inner Aggression from Belgium. So that's the next group there. Recommendations for all you all.
I really thought you were going to say Cobra Starship. I'm like, what?
What?
Hey, they had some good songs. The Snakes on the Plane. You know, you can't forget that was iconic. Okay, so the next band, speaking of more of like the softer side of metal, Motionless in White, Scoring the End of the World. Okay, it's a good fucking album. I don't care what anybody says. It's a good album. Obviously, I'm wearing the shirt with Jigglypuff on it. But no, I definitely love Werewolf, and I knew that was going to be like their most highest watch video too, because like they just recently came out with it. I think in October, I think it was. So, and I knew that was going to be like one of their popular ones. For sure, like, oh god, oh yeah, it was Meltdown, the song Meltdown. If you're a fan of Immure, you're gonna hear some of that in there. I noticed. So they're really going to like, they had a little, it was like really a mixture of like synth, popish, deathcore. It was kind of all over the place, but they made it work into like almost this industrial sound. So it was all, you kind of heard a little bit of everything, but it wasn't like one song is just dedicated to all deathcore and then the other one's all poppy, where you kind of just lose track. Because some bands could do that and you're just like, okay, you're doing a little too much.
Right.
Like I think, what was it? Amaranth. I forgot which one it was, which album it was. I think it came out like I want to say it was like 2016 or something like that. But I remember that it was called This Song, and that's what it was called in the album. I remember it was just so terrible. Like she was trying to sound so popish, but yet the rest of us was like Amaranth style.
Right.
Well, it just threw me off. Like I couldn't even like really listen through to that album. I forgot the name of it, but it was a cool video that they had though. They had one like a really cool video.
I think that's a band that I've tried to get in a few times. Same with Battle Beast, but it's a little bit tough because once the pop elements come in, it kind of throws the whole thing off for me. So I have a hard time sticking with that band.
Yeah, God, I can't remember the damn album, but yeah, no, there was a moment where they try to go really popish, and that's why Jakey left the band. He was just like, I'm not liking this shit. I was like, no. All right, your turn.
All right, so let's see. I've got Annihilation Process, Sickening Madness. This just came out. I remember about 8 or 9 months ago, he had released a song. Mike Dreher, who's the brainchild behind this, he also plays with Condition Critical and Lich King. Great thrash metal. You need to check it out. Definitely worthwhile. Then we have Seven Kingdoms with their album Zenith. Heavy hard rock from the USA. I forget the woman's name who's the vocalist, but they do a cover, not on this particular record, but before was how I discovered them. Great cover of Heart's Barracuda. It's one of the best renditions I've heard of that particular song. Then I have Obiat, Indian Ocean, a stoner doom band from Poland. And then I'll close out this section with Flames. They were around in the 80s. They put out a new record, Resurgent. They're thrash death from Greece. Very highly recommended.
Oh yeah, almost anything from Greece is pretty good. Like
just about, yeah.
That, the metal from Greece, definitely. Okay, they're not a new band. They haven't came out with anything recently, to my surprise, but I found them through Metal Around the World, one of my series, and that's Alien Weaponry. I don't know if you guys saw like the Vice documentary. I couldn't believe how young they were, first of all. Very young. I was like, these guys are in high school. What the hell? So that I've been listening to them. I think they only have like 2 or 3 albums on Spotify anyways. Yes, I'm flipping through my notes, people. But it's like
called being prepared.
I'm prepared. But it's like a thrash metal groove kind of sound, I guess is the best way to explain it. And they really stick to the culture, like the indigenous culture. Well, they're white, but they are really connected to like like the town they live, they're very connected to like the indigenous groups that are out there in New Zealand. That's why. So they kind of sing in that language. Some of it's in English, but a lot of it's also I believe it's called like the Maui or the Moi language, or so it's a good Vice documentary too. If you guys could find it, just type in alien weaponry, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like the first thing that pops up. But really good documentary. I know now I'm recommending documentaries on here, but yeah, watch it.
I love me some music documentaries, let me tell you.
Go ahead, you're next.
All right. Most recently, I got a chance to hear a Fate Worse Than Death by Thulsa Doom out of Italy, death metal band. Love the name, obviously. Big Conan the Barbarian fan. Then I have Howling in the Fog, Reflections. This is a band that pretty much started out as black metal ambient, and they're now more post-black metal from Italy. It's actually a one-man project. Very cool. Good stuff. It's got a little bit of a bounce between the black metal stuff as well as melody and stuff, so it's very nice and kind of pretty at times. So if you like that kind of stuff, check it out. Then I have Depressed Mode, Decade of Silence, Symphonic Death's Doom from Finland. I've been a fan of them for a while, and I really like the new record just as much as I think it was like a 10-year gap between this one and the last one. So to be able to put out something that quality after so long is still pretty impressive.
Awesome. Next one is a band called Night, like Nite. Voices of the Cronian Moon, to be exact, the album. So it's like a black and trad metal kind of sound. I've been into that really lately, like with Haunt and Traveler, bands like that. I've been into a lot of that music, and I know it's like every year, like I'll mention something of like that's like on my top list, because I had my little power metal for like a good 5 or 6 years. Now I feel like I'm on the traditional metal band, but like the newcomers that are coming in. So let me just say the song Cronian starts off. Okay, I put this in one of my metal favorites video, like probably in the end of summer. If you're a Sailor Moon fan, you know what I'm talking about. There's a song called Star Power Makeup. Literally the first 20 seconds of the song Cronian, it just literally sounds like the metal version of that Sailor Moon song. And when I posted the comparison, because I posted the comparison and everything, right? I had people on freaking Instagram and TikTok both tell me it's the exact same thing. And then I remember, I don't know what's his name, but one of the band members saw that and he just left some flames, and that's it. He won't talk. The guy won't talk. And I'm like, it's okay. If you love Sailor Moon, it's fine, dude. There's like no hate. We all know she could be Goku. It's okay. It's like, come on. So I mean, she could set up, she could reverse time and everything. Come on now. So but yeah, so that's what caught me, and I've been loving the band ever since. I love the artwork. I love that style of artwork, that very kind of like 70s traditional metal kind of artwork, very like haunting looking.
Yeah, I kind of been like you in some ways. Some of this more traditional heavy metal rock stuff. I know that recently I was checking out stuff by Riot City as well as Midnight Rider, and they've got that very old school classic heavy metal hard rock stuff going on, which is very cool.
Yeah, I just saw. No, I haven't checked them out.
I'm not familiar with that band.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. The last 4 of my favorites for this year are Skeptic, Nailed to Ignorance, Tech Death from Poland. Always been a fan of theirs. I think it's been a little while since they put out a record too, so it was kind of nice to see them still around, putting out good quality work. Blood Os Nord, avant-garde black metal from France with Disharmonium, Undreamable Abysses. Excellent record. And then the last 2 I've got are more kind of like both a little bit of doom and hard rock, but you can almost say they're both kind of rock in some ways. The first one is a band called Freedom Hawk. Take All You Can. It's a stoner doom metal band from the USA. And then probably the biggest surprise, even though these guys were the first concert I ever attended when I was 17, is Striper, The Last Battle, heavy hard rock from the USA. Still love that band. I don't care too much about the ideology part of it, but they can still rock and they're great.
All right. So the other one is more just of a single. It was a collaboration with the folk group, not folk metal, just a folk group. Fawn and I can never say their name right. Eluvite.
Mhm.
And so I love Fawn. I've been following their folk stuff for like years. So when somebody told me go look at the music video, oh my god! So it's basically called Gwydion. I believe it's like the Welsh wizard. I guess he's supposed to be like their version of Merlin.
Mhm.
Um, oh my god, it was like my heart sore. It was everything I wanted. I never would have thought of those two coming together, and it was perfect. Everything was just perfect. So if you're into like folk metal or just folk music in general, you're gonna love this. It's just done so well. So yeah, that has to have been probably my favorite song of the year. If I were to say
Wow.
something, I don't really have a favorite album of the year. So if anybody's, and it's like that almost every year. There, one year there will be, and then one year there won't be, and it's fine. It's just because I liked a lot of music. That's why. But Gwydion has to have been like one of my favorites that I listened to a lot this year.
Yeah, I think I've heard of Fawn. I think I checked them out. I kind of always love the folk and Viking stuff. So
Yeah, they're very like pagan and traditional. A lot of their stuff is about that.
yeah. Have you ever listened to Merker?
No.
You might need to check her out too. She does a lot of that kind of stuff. Like a little
Oh,
more.
I know who you're talking about. Actually, yeah, because I always call her Murke. I don't know if I
You're
have a
probably
problem.
right. I'm terrible at pronouncing shit, so I just kind of
Yeah,
go with what I think it sounds like, and then
yeah. The ice. No, she's not. She's Danish, but this name is
right,
Icelandic.
right,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. I love her.
yeah,
I know a
good
lot of people
stuff.
hate her because it's more like she's not metal. It's just like black metal influence. I guess you could say that's just the way how I saw it.
It's just purists, they get upset about something, and it's like, dude, come on, just chill.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I believe she came from the pop scene, and I know she was like a model for a while. So of course they don't want to see that. I'm like, see, this is why a lot of you guys are still virgins. I'm just saying. It's true. It's not enough in general. It's hard to satisfy a man. But then when I got into the metal scene, I'm like, ugh. I'm just gonna go back to the normies. I think I learned my lesson with this year. Let's just say that I'm just gonna go back to the normies, the ones with the buzz cuts. Because I'm sorry, but I love hanging out with metalheads. But when it comes to like relationships, it's
It's
I can't
tragic.
please them in any way. I just can't. So anyway, so I think I'm done with. Oh, actually, okay. So I've been listening to a lot of Bon Jovi. That's it. Slippery When Wet, obviously.
Hey,
Their oh shoot, why can I not remember the name of the first album? But anyways, with
I think it's
Roulette
just
and all them,
self-titled, isn't it?
I think it is just self-titled.
Because I think it was
Roulette, obviously.
self-titled. Then you had 78 degrees, 100 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah,
slippery when wet. And then I think uh,
New
New
Jersey
Jersey
was
was like,
after that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been listening to the self-titled one. I mean, especially because I went through a heartbreak, so there were some kind of heartbreak songs in there that I was just listening to over and over again. New Jersey, actually, yeah, I was listening to New Jersey a lot as well. And I'm still working because I'm like, I do the whole metal and makeup t-shirt thing, right? I'm still working on theirs. I love Bon Jovi, and I'm glad they're good people, unlike a lot of the bands out there. But their story's kind of boring, your guys. I mean, I'm just gonna warn you. Like, I feel like the beginning was interesting, but then after that, I'm like, I'm having a hard time finishing this video because I was like, it's boring. It's just so if anybody is wondering, because I know I've been talking about it more on Instagram, it's boring, and I'm trying to find a way to wrap it up because you got to remember this is a band that's been around for 30 years. It's not like it's
Mhm.
10 years here. So I probably won't get all the information. I'm probably going to stop around like the 2000s when It's My Life came out, only because that's the song that got me into Bon Jovi because I was 12. So, and then all of a sudden I looked in their past work and I discovered like the old classic rock stations and I was like, okay, I'm hooked. But
Yeah, I think because I grew up in the '80s pretty much, so the whole like slippery when wet when that exploded, and of course New Jersey, like it got so overplayed and done that now when I listen to Bon Jovi, I usually just stick to the first two records because you don't hear them as much as the other stuff. So
have you heard of Revocation?
yep,
Okay.
Yep, they're not too bad.
All right. Well, we're getting some recommendation because I know I needed a lot of recommendations, and that's good because you put out some. Like I was like Hungary. Okay, I got to check that. You know, I get the feeling Hungary is going to have some good metal. It's like I get the feeling.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like you'd never really think about it until like the last, I don't know, 20 or so years for me. It's like growing up in the 80s and 90s, you'd always read the magazines and you'd see different bands. But man, once the internet started, you just had a plethora of vast bands just coming out of the woodwork. It's like there's just so much stuff out there. So trying to navigate through it all is sometimes taxing.
Yeah, and then I know like shoot, I didn't write them down, but there was a lot of bands from Chile that were really good that I did for Metal Around the World Chile. I was very in shock how much good music from black metal to doom like metal and
Mhm.
what's the other one? Oh my god, it was a genre that caught me off guard. I'm like, no, it was doom metal. Yeah, doom metal. Duh. That's the one that I really don't listen to that much. But there was a lot of bands. So I mean, regardless, I don't even think I should even mention them just because I feel like I'll basically talk all over again about the video. So if you guys want, just go look up Chile. And yeah, and then I even just discovered a recent band through one of my subscribers messaged me on what's it called on Instagram, and I just heard the song like 2 days ago. So, and it's a black metal band from there. It was a whole new band because I did not cover them. I know that. I think they were called like Kurg or something like that. I might be wrong. I just know it started with a K. but I'll send you. Well, actually, hold on. I'll just look it up right now. Just go on Instagram. Let's see. Um, but it was a good song too. It was a black metal song. Very well done. You know, because you got the black metal that's like no production whatsoever. And then you got the ones that are like, you know, really properly produced. Let's see, where is he? Where
Noah
are
Vargas,
you?
have you heard of Paramorpheus? I have not. What kind of metal is it?
Crane, there we go, or Crayen. It could be Crayen. Mar de Animas. Okay, so that one was they're also from Chile, and the song just came out like recently. So that one was a really good song to listen to, especially if you like black metal. Um, but do you have any are you done with your metal stuff or is there any more?
As far as like all the new stuff, I mean, we could talk about some of the stuff that we've been revisiting. That's fine.
Okay, so mainly with me has been Bon Jovi. That's basically about it. However, we'll go back to revisiting. Don't get me wrong. Let me just because I only have like two more,
Oh, that's fine.
and I kind of want your input on the last one. So I'm
Okay.
open to being wrong here. My favorite non-metal, My Chemical Romance, Foundation of Decay. So that one just came out. I think I want to say it was like in August. If you're not from the 2000s, like I am as a teenager, oh my God, this opened up wounds. But it was kind of like if you look at even if you don't like that music, that's fine. Look at the lyrics. He
Hmm.
really covers up from like 9/11 to like it's some deep shit. Like I would at least tell people look at the lyrics. That's it. You don't have to like the song. It's really
Hmm.
deep. So but yeah, let's just say that opened up some deep wounds. And like I said, I was going through a heartache and then having to deal with my mom's health. Um Oh yeah, that song was on repeat too. Just like, why you think I went back to Bon Jovi? Because even though they were about heartache, I felt like that was more fun to listen to.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look, music is cathartic, so whatever's going on in your life, that's why it's there. It doesn't matter what genre it is. I mean, there are certain genres I don't care about, but if a music speaks to you, then it speaks to you. You know, doesn't matter where it's coming
Mhm.
from. I mean, as much as I
Yeah.
love rock and metal, one of my all-time favorite records is "Purple Rain" by Prince. So,
Okay. Yeah. And also, it's just the fact that they did it, they actually sound like you were revisiting 2004.
mhm.
That's what it was. It sounds like you were back in time. It wasn't like because when a new band, let's say Bon Jovi, for example, obviously a lot of their stuff is now called what adult alternative.
Yeah,
Different sound, still great. I actually like some of their new stuff, like "Have a Nice Day" and all that. I thought it was great, but this like literally still sound the same, but brand new.
Right.
So, and the last one I want to put in, and we'll talk more about your stuff because I know you have more. Um, did you? This is a dislike.
Okay.
Did you listen to Rammstein Angst?
I actually don't think I did. And to be fair, I'm not the biggest Rammstein fan. I do appreciate their art as far as stage shows. I know people talk a lot about their live settings and stuff like that, but I'm not never really been a big fan of them.
I just didn't like it. I just didn't. I one
Did
of the
you like
things.
did you like their previous work before
Oh
this?
yeah.
Okay.
I like, like there were, the Deutschland and all that, and each we and all that. Like I'm pretty sure I butchered the German language right there, but I loved. I especially like Deutschland the video, and I'm not a big music video fan. Everybody knows that. I really don't care. You're never gonna catch me like do reactions to that. I don't care because a lot of music videos are just really bad. That's just
Right.
what it is. Doesn't matter who it is. You could look. I could look at Lady Gaga. I'm like, it's still really bad. And she might be talking about feminist stuff, and I'm a feminist, and I could just tell you it's really bad. They could be over sexualizing a woman. I could just tell you it's really bad, not because they're over sexualized. It's just bad. It's just
Right,
bad.
right,
That's
right.
it. Has nothing to do with the political scheme. It's just bad. But the Rammstein Onks, it was more. I mean, I kind of got it a little bit. They were really talking about when I didn't read the lyrics, but visually from what I got, it was about keeping up with the Joneses.
Right.
So that's what I got from it. But I don't know why people were like, this video is creepy. I was like, I guess when you've done special effects, in the past and on set work, you're just kind of immune to shit already. So, I mean, I guess it was creepy. I don't know. It was a good paint job, I guess, that they did. Um,
Did you ever
no
hear
shit.
the project from the singer with him and the guy from Pain, Peter Tigerman, Lindemann?
No, no, I don't think so. No.
It's
I'm
an
gonna look.
interesting collaboration. Pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah, but I just really didn't like the song. I know a lot of people did. I don't even think I covered it in any of my videos to tell you the truth. But and then the other one, people are really gonna be surprised by this one. Again, I'm open to being wrong. I don't give a fuck. I hated the new Megadeth album. And this
Really?
is coming from a Megadeth fan. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, the We Will Be Back literally sound like it was just political.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, I get it, thrash metal is political, but this was more like you knew what side he stood on political. Let's just say that. If you want
Right.
to keep that in your personal life, keep that shit in your personal life. Don't be like fucking Ted Nugent. Oh, you know what? Let me rephrase that. I have more respect for Ted Nugent because at least he'll say what the fuck he is, unlike this bastard over here.
You think Mustang's dancing around?
Yeah, so I mean, at least this bastard just won't admit he's a Republican. It's okay. We're not trying to get political here. Just admit it. It's
Yeah.
fine. We'll move on. You act like one especially because you're a very reborn Christian and don't like gay people. And you were on what's his fucking the Jones guy, the one that doesn't like frogs. And I don't know. It was something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I rather have, and I don't like Ted Nugent for many, not because of that, but we all know he's done some pretty fucked up pedo stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but at least where his stance on what he is, fine. Fine, be that way. I don't care. We get to choose. He's dancing around.
Right.
He's too much of a coward. He won't come out because he knows what's his following is. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to pay his daughter success. He needs to be Billy Ray Cyrus. So, so I didn't
Yeah,
like
I
it.
actually I did enjoy it. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest record. I mean, look, I haven't really liked a Megadeth record like in passionate since Countdown, so it's been a long time. But I thought Dystopia and this one were a little bit better in terms of direction. Like I didn't really like Endgame or any of that other stuff before it. So
I was
yeah,
cool with Endgame. I actually did like Endgame. What was the one? Oh, the one that was it 13? Yeah,
yeah.
13.
There's 13, and I think there's Super Collider
That
somewhere
one
in
was terrible.
Yeah.
It was like the metal soundtrack to Seventh Heaven. It was just. Does anybody remember Seventh Heaven here?
Yeah. Wasn't that Jessica Biel in that?
Yeah, and then let's see. And then you end up finding out the preacher in real life was also a pedal. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
wow.
Karma there.
Yeah, but I mean, again, anybody wants to go ahead and I was like, everybody knows I'm a Megadeth fan. I have so much stuff of theirs, right? Actual merch and everything. And I'm not afraid to admit, I'm not like Metallica fans that praise them for every little thing and try to like, be like, oh, it wasn't their best album. No, this album was shit. There, okay? That's how you're a fan. It's time for him to hang up his fucking guitar, okay? I'm tired. Go make a Christian rock album if that's what you want to do. May the gods be with you, even though you only worship one and you're not worshiping the correct one. So I'm like, okay. But I'm like, whatever, man. I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm done with Megadeth. I will just stick to their past shit. I don't want to move forward with it. I don't feel like I need to because they're done. His voice is shit now. Almost a lot of these people's voices are shit, except for like Exodus. I don't know how they're still doing it, but praise them. But I
Yeah.
will end right there. Go ahead, you.
No, it's fine. I agree with a lot of that. I mean, when that new Metallica song dropped, everyone's like comparing it to Kill 'Em All. I'm just like, I'm not seeing it, dude. I don't know where you're getting that from. It's like maybe just wishful thinking, but Megadeth same way. Like I said when I was talking about Overkill, there's only a few bands out there that during that time that have kind of stayed true to what it is they do, and some people say that's just boring, but I say that's just metal. That's what they do. I don't want my band to really change. If you're going to progress and do it in a way that makes sense, Death progressed, but they didn't go crazy. It's like
Yeah.
just one of those things. So yeah, I mean, I can say for sure for me, I saw Megadeth at the Clash of the Titans in '90, and then in '92 I saw him during Countdown. At least then Dave wasn't the crazy guy we see him to be today. So I got at least a chance to see him when they were at the Ross, So recently I've been revisiting Typo Negative. I've always been a big fan of theirs, and Peter Steele, rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Rock wise, I'm always into Rat. It's one of my favorite bands from that time period. As well as what else have I been revisiting? Laz Rocket, one of my favorite thrash heavy metal bands from that time period as well.
Is that a cat?
That's my cat,
Yay.
Hazel. Come here, girl. Where are you? Come here. You want to say hi to everybody? You're brand new to us. Ooh. And this is Hazel.
Oh, Hazel. My store manager name.
See everybody?
Oh, hi, buddy.
Yeah. You just want some food or something? Is that what you're talking about? Go talk to mommy. She's got your food. I think because I'm talking, she thinks I'm talking to her, so she wants to talk back.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Neko and I just had a chance to check out a movie. I get this thing in the mail called the Metalhead box, and they send you
Mm-hmm.
like I have the one that has like cassettes that come to me and whatnot. So they send you different things. Sometimes you'll get a shirt. Sometimes you'll get like patches and stuff. And we got a lot. Probably about last month or so, I got this DVD. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Metal Messiah. It's a movie.
I
And
have. I'm not familiar. I probably if I see where to see like a
there
picture.
is a trailer out there for it, but it's quite entertaining, and we really enjoyed it. We're going to do a review on it soon, but I waited till she got back from her trip to watch it, and we watched it last night. And I was like, it's pretty crazy but fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Neko there. She's in the fucking talk. Don't let her lie to you. I fed her. Yeah, well, she's lying because she's saying she's starving to death.
Oh, but yeah, typo negative. I'm sorry, but it's like I don't mind typo negative. Not gonna lie, I don't mind them. I don't know what happened, but sometime in 2017, they just blew up. Like all of a sudden, everybody was a hardcore typo negative fan, and I just couldn't get into it. Like, I feel like a lot of these people, I don't even think they understand why they're a fan. You know what I mean? I feel like they're just on the train. Like, if
Oh
you want to
yeah.
be a hardcore fan, be a hardcore fan. But I was never. What I did like, though, it used to be on YouTube, and I believe you could buy the actual DVD. Maybe you know this on already. This is just repeat. But I remember there was like typo negative songs over Nosferatu. And it fits so well. And I'll admit that's when I liked it, because I watched it. I was like, this goes so well. But if I were to listen to it by itself, no. I was
Mhm.
like, no, it has to be with a Nosferatu video. Or like you could
Yeah,
just
there's like I like when that happens. There was a fan made video that someone had done with Electric Wizard song, and they put it to stills and scenes from the movie Suspiria, Dario Argento, and that was so good, so well done. But
Ooh, I
yeah, it's
didn't hear
great.
about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I like when that happens, even if you're not really big into the band. Like, just if you can get somebody who can utilize a song that well, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah. Anything else you've been listening to, dude? Or
Not really. I mean, I've been, every week like I said, I listen to like 20 or 30 new records. So what we've been doing
it's
on YouTube
yeah.
is just basically putting up the top 5 favorites of the week. I think Neko's actually working on that now as we speak. Uh, so it just gives people a glimpse of what's out there. It's not anything major. You have to be kind of careful on YouTube because of copyright issues. So we only keep the clips short.
Hmm.
But people seem to enjoy it. So that's good.
All right. And what's your plans for New Year's? Anything, any kind of plans going on?
Uh, Nothing much. I know that tomorrow I actually have an interview with Sean Wright, who's a local around here. He directed a movie called Night of the Axe, which he gave us a screening to the other day. So we're going to interview him about that movie. So that should be up there. And then I don't know. The only thing I'm doing personally is going to see Repticon and look at spiders. I have like a tarantula collection. So
Cool. My bearded dragon is still asleep right now. He's in brumation. I
those
didn't
things are
really
so cool. Bearded
I
dragons.
didn't realize how much I got into reptiles until I owned a bearded dragon. I want an iguana next. I really do. I just have no space for him. I was
Yeah,
barely able to make space for this one with the big old tank and everything, with the terrarium as they call it. But
yeah.
oh my, I would love to like have another one, but I only want the males because if I get the female, you got to be careful with the eggs. And what if they get like patched and then you got to go take them to the vet? So that's why I really don't want the females or anything. It's a lot harder with reptiles, especially I mean, there is a doctor nearby here specializes, like a vet, I mean, but still, I
Yeah.
heard the vet bills are outrageous for them.
Oh, special. Yeah. We have a pair of rabbits, and anything
No.
that gets done with them is like, you have to be careful. You're not spending like, shit ton of money, but it's sort of like having kids. So
Yeah. Oh, but I love having a bearded dragon. I just hate when the brumation starts. I was like, there's nothing. He's just asleep. You can't do anything about it.
what is
It's
it
like
like a shedding?
no, the brumation is when it's like hibernation. The only thing is they don't eat. They can't eat because it'll get stuck in their system. Now
Ah,
you're gonna hear different stuff. You're gonna hear people like, "Oh, I give mines a little bit to eat, and then we just put them, in a hot bath because it helps with their digestion, right?" Then you hear other ones say, "No, don't feed them at all." Everyone has some kind of input. But I just haven't fed mine. I leave him a bowl of water just in case he gets thirsty in the middle of the night or something, but he don't even touch that. So, but just in
right.
case, you never know. And I'm going to start buying some green. That's the thing though. He's a picky eater. He doesn't like his greens. And he needs to eat them because adult bearded dragons need to eat more greens.
Yeah, it helps with their digestive system, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I literally have to trick him, put like pumpkin puree, wrap the bug in a burrito or something. It's just I have to trick him.
Yeah, most of my spiders like their crickets, but I have one particular Loki, my curly hair, and I feed her dubia roaches, and she loves them. But not like I try to give them to other spiders, and they're just like, I have no care in the world for them.
Yeah. Oh boy, but what are you looking for like new metal wise? Like,
What coming up?
yeah, like
Uh,
coming up, like any shows or anything?
oh, yeah, I bought tickets to Enslaved in April. They're
Oh,
coming through Baltimore, and I got the VIP tickets. The last time they came through that we saw them was 2015, and I had totally forgotten about it in terms of like it was my birthday that day. So my wife's like, "Hey, it's his birthday today." And they ended up singing "Happy Birthday" to me, which was kind of cool. But
Aww.
get a chance to meet them again. They're really, really cool guys. I love the band. They're one of my favorite bands ever. So I'm really excited about that.
I went, was it on my birthday? I don't remember, but I remember going to see Sabaton, but it was either like a couple days before. And you know how they do public things, like they'll say public things or whatever, right? I told my friend, don't you dare tell them it's my birthday. Don't you dare tell them. I'm like scared. Like I'm scared what they might say. And it was funny because I was gonna wear my birthday tiara and I'm glad I did. I was like, no, don't do it, don't do it. No,
They would
these
have
guys.
made you a princess.
Oh, I know, huh? I don't know. Maybe next time. Who knows if they come around my birthday? Oh, they already did. They came. Yeah, I think they were playing in October or September. I just remember I couldn't go because Epica opened up for them, and I really wanted to see Epica because they hardly ever come out here, and I just couldn't.
Yeah, I've never seen them. I do love Simone, though. Great vocalist. Love her stuff.
Yeah. All right, dude. Let's wrap this up.
All
Thank
righty.
you so much for coming on. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Obviously you guys know I'll put his link down below and everything, you guys, after this renders and all that BS. So if you guys don't know what these StreamYard things, in case you don't see it for like a good couple hours, because they're over here rendering that, it's weird. I don't know, but okay. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. Bye.
Have a good night, all. Appreciate it.
See ya.